Hey guys, and welcome to this week's podcast from Some Kind of Gaming. Today it's a little bit different. We have with us guest host Insanity Secure. Welcome, Insanity.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No worries. Glad to have you on board, actually. We have had Insanity on before and doing, I believe it was episode 4, maybe, where we discussed women gamers and gamers of that sort of caliber and the way they were treated when on stream and other bits and pieces. So that's a really good podcast to listen to or podcast to watch. We also upload these to YouTube as well if you're interested. Some of you may notice that Tom and Laura are absent. Now, this could either be seen as a good thing or a bad thing. It does mean that I have to take the ropes more, and we all know that I tend to waffle on a little bit, which I've probably already done in this introduction. So they are actually moving house at the moment, so we have given them some leave, given them leave from the podcast. It's been approved. It's the stamp of approval from me. Anyway, let's get into what we were going to talk about today. So what we're going to do is talk about something for quite a bit longer than what we normally would in terms of what the item actually is. And that's because Insanity and I have had quite a bit of exposure to this particular topic. We were beta testers when they conducted their flight tests and other bits and pieces. So I thought it'd be a good time to get back into that as a new season has been released. So first up, what we want to do is talk about games that have been released and other bits and pieces. It's been pretty slow this last week. So we really just have, as far as honorable mentions go, and something that I think has made a few waves, in as well as breaking a few TVs. I have seen. I don't know if you've seen that, Insanity, but I've seen a few streamers lose a few TVs over Switch Sports. So some of you, or most of you, I assume, would remember Wii Sports, probably the game that really sold the Wii for people and really made it a staple in the household, I believe, as Wii Sports came with the Wii in most scenarios, cases, etc. Even buying it secondhand from pawn shops, not the weird porn, you weirdos, the other one. They continued to include Wii Sports with it because that game is everywhere, and I'm sure you could probably pick it up for 50 cents, maybe less. But
I think I actually still have it, by the way.
Yeah, so do I.
With the attachments. I have the tennis racket. Yes, I have the bat.
Yes.
I
think it's a great game. And it was actually something that I posted about not long ago about trying to find a game for like a 4-year-old, basically. And there's not much out there. So Mario Kart is a very enjoyable game for her. She does love that. But she's played Paw Patrol. She wasn't really into that. It was the hand-eye coordination's probably a little bit too hard in Paw Patrol for what she was trying to do. I'm sure in a couple of months, with the rate of children going up, but she always, because we do crank out Wii Sports still to this day.
Yeah.
And she does love bowling on Wii Sports. So Switch Sports is something that I will pick up very soon once I work out what is going on with my Nintendo Switch, because it is phantom pressing touchscreen buttons for some reason. Yeah, it's really weird. The whole left-hand side is basically like beep, 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 beep. So I can't actually use it in handheld.
No.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. And I was going to update to the OLED, but I am almost positive that Tom is wrong and a new Switch will be released later in the year or early next year. I'm so sure of that, I am going to wait before I actually make a move or change anything.
Understood.
So moving on to PlayStation Plus, those games are now available. So that was yesterday, I believe, PlayStation Plus games were available. To be honest, the big one on there for me anyway, and probably not a lot of other people, but I thought FIFA was a nice inclusion. It's something that for some reason I prefer to play on PlayStation. Like, it's on Game Pass, but I think I prefer it for the PlayStation. I'm not sure. It's a little bit weird, but having the PS5 just feels like a FIFA console, not the Xbox. So that's my 2 cents. Any games in there that you were interested? Like, there's only 3 games, and I felt they really went all in on FIFA.
Yeah. I think that's the only one that was actually kind of like just in your face, sort of. I have never played any sports related video games. But that one has really piqued my attention to see if, hey, let's just try to see if we can do anything. But yeah, that's basically the one that was kind of like front and center for them, for marketing purposes.
Definitely, 100%. Now, Season 2 of Halo has also been released, which is the big topic that we will get into later. But I just wanted to throw that out there at the start of this podcast. But what we're going to talk about right now is Call of Duty Vanguard and how it is possibly the best Call of Duty game ever. Not. That's Borat reference for those that don't know. Yes. What's your opinion? Before I get into what Activision themselves actually said about this fantastic title, what are your thoughts?
I think the issue here is that we continue to see sort of the same outcome out of most of the games that Activision has been putting out for the past few years, where it's this big thing and we are doing so many updates and so many things, and you're going to see so many new maps and this, that, and the other, and all of a sudden it comes out and it's like, this is the same. You changed names, you maybe changed a thing here or there, but overall functionality of the game continues to be the same, maps continue to be the same, and we still have the same issue with cheaters and all these other, things that we're exhausted to talk about and to continue to mention. So it doesn't come as a surprise that after so much hype, they're like, oh yeah, we didn't really hit the mark. Close, but no cigar.
No cigar. I don't even know if it was close. It's being generous.
Yeah, exactly.
They did come out saying that the did not meet expectations, due to our own execution. Now, okay, this is a problem that I have, is that Activision think it is solely due to their execution, when it's actually due to the fact that we don't want any more World War II games. Like, the market is oversaturated. Modern Warfare was possibly one of the best Call of Duty games that has ever been released, and actively had more players in it.
Yeah.
And then it just dived off after that with each iteration. So the fact that they've taken this long, because the new Modern Warfare 2 is being released, not a remaster of the original Modern Warfare 2, because what would Call of Duty be without convoluted names and
of course
other bull. They are releasing a sequel to the Modern Warfare that we both enjoy. So I hope they don't stuff that up. Like, I play a game to sort of increase the imagination, if that makes sense, and to expand upon that. But realistically, once you've played one or two World War II games, like you know what's going on. Like, come out with something new. Modern Warfare was fantastic in my opinion. It just had everything.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, one of my favorite maps is the ones with the shipping containers.
Yep.
And it is just a slaughter fest.
Yeah.
But it was so much fun. And I literally do not care about Black Ops or Vanguard. Like, I literally have no connection with those games. I've tried the free trials. I was gonna buy them, but I mean, personally, I just couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have much more to say on this atrocity. What about yourself?
I mean, I don't think I have like much more to talk about in regards to what they've put out so far. I think same goes for the new Warzone coming out. It's like, it's too much hype and then nothing really new to actually say, oh shit, they really did something new with this, this season or this new map or this update, or this new game. I just feel like it's too many games. Rather than actually fixing what is broken with the current games, they're just putting out more games to try and make more money, and we continue to have the same issues over and over again. So it's now you have a new game that you spent 60, 70, 80, $100 on with the same issues because nothing got fixed.
And the latest trailer for Warzone was actually one that you sent to me, and I actually thought it was a joke originally.
I know,
like a bad April Fool's joke. Like, why is Godzilla and Kong coming to Warzone? Like, they could push it a little bit with the Hellhound and all that sort of stuff, because that wasn't a huge thing. But what the hell are they doing with Godzilla?
No.
I don't think they know. That's why that's in there.
No, I think it's like, I think they're just grasping at straws to see, what they can put out there that will pique someone's attention and bring up their sales again. But I think it's just water in a wicker basket.
Yeah. But they need to go back to when things were better and less complaints, like Modern Warfare, and expand on that. So hopefully they do that with Modern Warfare 2. But I mean, I'm not holding my breath.
No.
Yeah.
I ain't either.
Now, let's move on to something that's a little bit more interesting for us, I will say.
Yes.
And hopefully for all of you, because Season 2 of Halo Infinite Lone Wolves has been released as of today. Now, I think we all know, and if you're a Halo fanboy or fangirl or fan whatever, and you think what was produced in the past season was acceptable, I think you're probably joking yourself. I don't think they really know what is going on in Halo at the moment. Like, have you seen the TV show? Just as a side.
I have not.
That's crap.
I really want to see it though.
Yeah, watch it. By all means, everybody should watch it if they like watching shit. It's definitely got its issues,
Yeah.
and it is very clear that nobody actually played the game. I don't even know if they watched the bloody cutscenes, because if they'd watched some cutscenes from YouTube, they would have done a better job.
Yeah.
Now, it's only rubbish if you really wanted them to stick to Halo lore. I think there are certain aspects they have, but they've brought in some weird shit. And so if you just want to watch it to watch Master Chief, cool, he's in it.
There you go.
And does stuff, and you see his butt. You don't see that in the games from memory. That's in there. If you like butts, that's the highlight of a lot of people's Halo watching experience, was his butt. So yeah,
Awesome.
if you want to watch butt, watch Halo. But
Gotcha.
so season 2 has been released, and
Yes.
season 1, while I think it started off well, and we both quite enjoyed the flight.
Yes.
We spent quite a few hours on that together, and even with the time difference that we have, we really tried to pour quite a bit into that flight. We were on the flight, I think, from day one.
Yeah.
Of release, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good experience, and I was hoping, and some of you who listened to or watched the podcast from the earlier days would have heard my positive feedback on it, and I did think it was good, but then it didn't change. So it released, and they were talking on the Halo Waypoint, which is like their forum for updating on products, like product stuff, like the stupid samurai thing. I don't like that, samurai armor, no interest, and other bits and pieces, right? So Halo Waypoint is a good place to be if you want updates on certain bits and pieces. The app is quite robust. It is much better than it was when it was in beta, which we also got to test flight. But nothing changed afterwards. Like the things that they sort of hinted at in terms of the battle pass and other bits pieces weren't done, and it just died. Is that what's your take? I mean, I just got bored.
Yeah, I feel like I have to agree with that. It's almost like it was, this is what we have, and let's see how you feel about it. Okay, we got your feedback. We're not going to change anything. We're not going to modify anything. We're just going to leave it like that.
Yeah.
It's interesting because you have people that truly enjoy what they have so far. And, you know, when you're playing with certain friends, it is enjoyable, but at the same time, there's a lot to be desired from the gameplay, from the maps, from the battle pass itself. I feel like they're still kind of inchworming the battle pass, where you're kind of like, just unless you're putting in hours upon hours upon hours upon hours playing the game, you're not leveling up. You're not leveling up. It's like, oh, 200 XP, 100 XP. And it's like, when am I going to be able to level up? When can I get further into the battle pass, further into what I want to acquire? In order for me to do that, I have to pay for it after I already paid for the battle pass. Now I have to pay more to buy level. Like, I think that's one of the major issues for me, aside from the things that could have been improved on. Some maps that I don't think are really that nice to play with. I think there's also certain, to me personally, certain maps that should not allow for like vehicle usage. Like, come on, it's like this big a map and you're letting us use all of the vehicles, all of the things, and we can't. It's like, if you don't get your hands on one, you're done. That's it for you. Don't expect a win. Don't expect anything, because you're done for. Like stuff like that. It's yeah.
Yeah, I agree, especially with the battle pass. The Warzone, one thing that they have done well, I think, in Warzone is the battle pass. I've never found myself irritated or pissed off with the battle pass in Warzone. You know, like once you've purchased it once, as long as you play the game and you play it on a semi-regular basis, you can get the battle pass again the next season for free. That is realistically exactly how it works, and it looks like that's what they've released, sorry, in season 2. So Lone Wolves, again, released today. It does appear, for all intents and purposes, that they have taken something from Microsoft's new acquisition, which isn't finalized yet, but it's there, and brought that across to Halo, because I love the Halo brand. I love Halo in a lot of ways, but it's just dying. They've really, I feel like they've killed the brand. The campaign was so much fun for me.
Yeah.
And I did enjoy the campaign, but once you finished it, there was literally nothing to do.
Yeah.
There is no, there's no post content stuff. I mean, you can find an arcade machine in one of the caves or something, which that's cool. It doesn't really do much. We still haven't been able to play co-op, which is crap. The fact that hasn't been released, it's, you know, I was sort of okay with them releasing the multiplayer early and then the campaign, but the campaign wasn't ready.
Yeah.
So they've gone for this big open world. Well, actually, it's not even that big, but they've gone for an open world campaign for Halo, which is really cool. And I think what they were trying to achieve and the idea behind the campaign was really cool, but they haven't fleshed it out enough afterwards. And the fact that co-op still hasn't been released.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on, but we're here to talk about the battle pass. I'm getting sidetracked again by campaign talk. I did enjoy the campaign, and it's one of those things where I do feel let down afterwards. As you can see, anybody watching, I do like Halo. I have a big image from Halo Wars behind me, because Halo Wars is actually one of my favorite Halo games of all time. I do love that, but it does look like in the season 2 pass, you will get 1,000 credits as well once you complete the pass, which is good. The battle passes, which is different to Warzone, they don't expire when the relevant season ends. So you can still work through your season 1 battle pass even once season 2 releases, which is good, but it shouldn't be needed. Like if you have a look at Apex Legends, Fortnite, like I assume you've got the battle pass for Fortnite.
Yep.
So Apex Legends, Fortnite, Apex, Warzone, all three of those I think do a good job when it comes to battle pass.
Yeah.
I bought the battle pass on every single one. I have bought it on Fortnite in the past. I'm not really a Fortnite player, but I have bought it in the past. And I never felt myself going, wow, that was a waste of, in most cases, it's $14 Australian. You know, whereas with the Halo one, I don't feel like it was worth paying.
No, not at all.
So, yeah, I do hope the Battle Pass in Season 2 and the experience is a little bit more fleshed out. I obviously have not played it yet. I have not had the time, considering it's only just been released.
Yeah.
But they've got new maps that have come out as well, which is cool. And they got a couple of multiplayer modes. So this is something that I'd like to potentially get into during the week, just to talk about next week and give my feedback. And I really hope it does better. Like I want them to do better. I desperately want Halo to do better.
Yeah.
Even pause the TV show for a little bit and do a better job of that. Yeah, I desperately want them to do better. So look, the new season started. They got 2 new maps, Last Spartan Standing mode. There's some more new modes and playlists, including King of the Hill. You've got Lone Wolf armor and 1,000 credits to earn. And there's been melee, overshield, chopper, and banshee balance changes.
Yeah.
So they seem this time, and I don't know how much of the season stuff and Halo Waypoint stuff you've read, but it seems like they're trying to listen a lot more this time round than what they did in the flight testing.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to agree there, because I feel like the way that they have structured this update, the information that they've included, the updates that they've included, anywhere from the weapons to the overshield and the battle pass, I feel like that is definitely a move forward that was needed from the past season and from the flight tests. I just hope that they're able to maintain that momentum, because I feel like this is a good, not just a campaign, but a multiplayer game that has the possibility, like you don't find a lot of these kind of battle royale, for lack of a better word, games that you can actually enjoy with your friends. I feel like for the most part, this one is pretty balanced. You can play against players of different levels and still feel like you're able to keep up, as opposed to other ones where, your weapons are down here because you really haven't even played it, and these guys are level 150, 300 and have souped up weapons, and they annihilate you the moment that you even peek. So I feel like this is a really good game, really good multiplayer. They have the opportunity to make it even better. And having said that, with the new Zleague tournaments for Halo, I would hope that doing that, improving the game, listening to the gamers, listening to the players, will benefit to maintain that rather than, have it flop.
Yeah. I mean, let's jump into Zleague, because that's a good segue while we're there, because you're a Zleague champion
No, no,
at Fortnite. You've won a couple though.
I have won a
Yes.
couple.
So explain to our awesome listeners and viewers
Awesome.
what Zleague actually entails, because it's something that you brought to my attention, because I'm not overly I'm not really a competitive player.
Yeah.
I could be. I'm that damn good. I'm bloody amazing. And
Sweet.
I'm sarcastic a lot, just in case you didn't notice. No, like, it is something that I'd like to do. So yeah, educate us.
Sure. Well, for those of you that have no clue what we're talking about, Zleague is an absolutely free tournament site. They have tournaments that provide paid prizes, so monetary prizes as well as credits within their site. It's zleague.gg.
We
No,
will
I'm
chuck that
not.
in the description
Yes,
of
and
the
I
of the
am not.
podcast as well.
I'm in no way sponsored or affiliated to Zleague in any way. This is just my personal experience. But anyways, the nice thing that they have is that they have tournaments for everyone that wants to participate. You don't have to be a 100% competitive player in order for you to be able to participate. They do have restrictions as far as when you can participate. You have to have a minimum of so many games played in the specific type of tournament that you're playing. So for example, I think Halo had 75,
Yeah,
was
that's
it?
what I got penalized with, because Insanity and I were going to enter a competition recently, because Halo was, up until a few days ago, beta on Zleague, and we were going to jump onto that. And I definitely have played more than 75 if you include my test flights. But according to Zleague, they don't include the test flights. So I was a few off that number, and I think it directly correlates to the fact that I got bored.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so basically each tournament or each game, they have requirements for them. So you have to have played at least a number of games for that specific tournament, for that specific game. They offer tournaments in Halo Infinite, which is again new to the Zleague tournaments. They also offer Warzone as well as Apex. They used to have Fortnite, and as of last week, I do not see any Fortnite on there. I'm going to be checking in to see if I can find any information with regards to that. I haven't been able to find anything that indicates that they're no longer running Fortnite tournaments, unless they kind of may have fallen off the grid, or they're restructuring the tournaments due to the fact that now Fortnite has a no build. So I don't know if they're going to have to restructure that, or if they're only going to do build, or if they're going to have no build. I don't know if that might be the reason why they have removed Fortnite from their tournament sections. Anyways, long story short, because I also ramble a lot. The tournaments, the nice thing about the tournaments is that regardless of your level of competition or your level of characters or whatever it may be, there are divisions. So you are separated in divisions, and those divisions are based off of the combination of the players that are in your team. So for example, I was able to participate in one of the Halo Infinite tournaments with a different player, and because of where we stood within the divisions, we only had one other team that was in our division. So when we did our beta testing for the tournament, it was just two teams, ourselves and one other team. We won by default because the other team never even participated. They never even played.
Winning.
Yes. But basically that's what they do. They separate you into divisions. And then the top 5, it normally gets certain prizes, up to top 3 with cash prizes. So it's pretty interesting to see, pretty interesting to participate. Based on my experience, I definitely suggest for people to maintain record of their totals. So when you are participating, when you are running your games, do keep track of your totals. Do not start before the start of the tournament because that game will not count. And do not start your last game after the end hour of your expected tournament because that game will not count either. One big note is that if there are any discrepancies in your totals that are displayed on the leaderboard in Zleague, you only have a certain period of time to be able to submit a discrepancy complaint. I think it's only about an hour. After that time frame, you are SOL or straight out of luck, or however you want to call it, because they will not honor it. It did happen to us, so just letting you guys know.
Okay.
I don't think I have anything else.
So I have been flicking through Zleague while you were updating us on everything. And there is no mention of Fortnite and what actually happened. Because if you have a look, like, and I'm going through their Twitter as well, and if you have a look at their homepage, which has changed significantly since I signed up, and that was what, 2.5, 3 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Fortnite has not only been removed from the drop-down boxes of tournaments and stats, and challenges, but tournaments, I think, is the big one because that has Warzone, Apex, Halo Infinite. It's been removed from the front page as well. So it literally just says Halo, Apex Legends, and Warzone. See your lifetime stats, cheat proof, live scoreboard, every division gets awarded, blah, 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 blah. See all the tournaments, which Warzone, Halo, like, but there is nothing nothing at all to do with Fortnite anymore. I couldn't see anything in the FAQs. I flicked through quite a few Twitter posts and I don't see, I just don't see anything. There are comments on their Facebook from multiple users that I can see now where they're saying what's happening with Fortnite, and there's no response as of yet, which I mean, realistically, I'm big on clarity. If you've listened to the podcast before or watched the podcast or heard me speak, I'm big on companies providing clarity when it comes to decisions like these. Now, they haven't provided any yet, but in the past, from what I can see, they seem pretty active. So I'm not knocking them yet. I think they need a little bit of time to potentially notify users what is going on, because it looks like it's only just been a very sudden change, because the About Us section on their Facebook, as an example, still states Fortnite as one of the tournaments that is potentially available. So I'm not knocking Zleague just yet. And again, as you know, if you've watched or listened, I'm not afraid to say what I think. And I mean, I think it's a little bit off that they've taken it away from stats as well. So potentially it's, I don't think it would necessarily be a disagreement with Epic, because Epic seem fairly, well, they project the image of being fair. Hence their recent battle with Apple and multiple emails that were actually released during the court case, where they actually were trying to push Sony towards cross-platform play with Epic's games. And they even said, we will say that you came to us and asked for cross-play enabled, not the other way around. So it looks like that's something that, Epic seem, I mean, at the end of the day, they're a company that want money, which I personally have no issue with. But I don't think it would necessarily be from Epic. I think there's something else in the way that potentially happened really quickly.
That's why I'm thinking I'm leaning towards it being a restructuring because of the no build. Once Epic decided, okay, we're going to keep no build as a mode, my assumption is that they are restructuring the stats to provide players that ability to have build and no build tournaments, and potentially even stats that are separated by build and no build games.
Which makes sense.
So that's where I'm leaning towards, especially since there has been no indication, nothing online that indicates a fallout, nothing that I could find that, indicated anything to that effect. I'm leaning towards that.
Yeah, I agree. And right now, I just sent a Twitter to both, or a tweet. I'm so old. I sent a Twitter. It was a Twitter.
The Twitter.
Yes. I just sent a thingy to the other thingies to ask them what's going on with the big thingy.
Yeah.
That's basically what has happened, because let's see what happens. If Zleague respond, they're good in my books. If you don't, I'm not happy, Jen.
Hopefully they will.
Look, it'll be interesting, because that's one thing that you obviously brought to me, and I assume you got onto Zleague because of Fortnite. You're a big Fortnite player, and I think it would be an interesting move to remove it altogether and replace it with Halo. I don't think that's the best situation, considering Fortnite right now and probably into the future is going to be more popular than Halo. I just, by the time Halo gets in front, if Halo ever gets in front, it'll be a long time. So it doesn't make sense. Having Warzone on there obviously makes sense. I think Apex Legends also makes sense. I'm a huge fan of Apex Legends, and having Fortnite on there probably makes the most sense to me. Not that I'm a Fortnite player, but I do dabble in the Fortnites, and I don't mind it. I just prefer Apex, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, I do like the no stuff now. I think that is significantly better. I also need to learn how to mute people, because I normally play Fortnite on my Switch as opposed to, Warzone, which is played on my Xbox or Destiny 2,
Yeah.
Apex Legends, they're played on my Xbox, and my Xbox is, all my settings are geared towards what I would want. So
Yeah.
the controller, like everything. Whereas my Nintendo Switch has no personalization or customization to the settings that I want. So as soon as I log into Fortnite, unfortunately, I hear a lot of children in the
Oh, yeah.
background. I have a child. I love my child, but I don't like other children.
I don't blame you
Fortnite.
there.
On Fortnite, it's just a lot. You know, like if I don't invite you to be my friend, it's no offense to you. It's just I like playing with my friends. I don't need any more. I'm good. Thank you.
Exactly.
So yes, because I'm pretty sure I have 45 invites for friendships on my Fortnite thing.
Like
And
parents, if you're a parent, whoever's listening to this, if you're a parent, please teach your children not to just send friend invites to strangers.
Yes, I could be a
Like,
weirdo.
No.
Yeah.
Because you could have one of us on the other side.
And we're not weird or creepy though.
No.
Insanity swears a lot though.
I do swear a lot. So yeah, your kid will learn how to swear.
They'll learn new words. If you want them to be educated, please add Insanity Secure on her Fortnite, and she will educate them in the way of swearing.
I will give them a lot of edumacation in the swearing side.
But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on Fortnite. It's not my cup of tea for that particular reason. I'm sure if I changed my settings and did bits and pieces, I'd be all good. But there is only so much space available on my Xbox, considering each Warzone update is worth 20 continents. And I can't play any FPS stuff. Well, I only got PlayStation 5 recently, so potentially I could play Fortnite on there, but I'm busy. I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm playing God of War. I'm playing Ratchet and Clank. I'm playing Uncharted 4, and maybe something else. So there's a lot going on, and the PlayStation absolutely sucks for storage. It is the worst. Well, actually, the Switch is the worst, but you get my point. So on that note, I think we can wrap up. I mean, if you want to see Insanity, she does streaming on Twitch, so twitch.tv/Insanity Secure. You can also check her out on multiple social medias. She is a massive fan of TikTok.
I am, but I have to start using it more. I'm setting that as a goal to use it more.
2022 goal.
Yes.
Post 2022 videos.
Oh my God.
On the TikToks.
On the tiki-taki.
Yes. You will find myself, the Low Grade Gamer, or my business is iDigitalGames.com, where we sell Steam, GOG, Xbox, PlayStation, and a whole bunch of others. And you'll see me on Twitter, not on Twitch. I don't stream, don't have the face for it. But hit us up on Twitter. If you've got any questions about the podcast, the video, anything else, if you want to check out Insanity, her stuff will be in the description. If you want to check out iDigital Games, that'll also be in the description. And as well as some kind of gaming. So some kind of gaming is Tom and Laura, who normally host this with me. They are slightly busy at the moment moving. Apparently that's a big thing. So they are, yeah, gosh. So they will also be in the description. So check them out. They'll be back next week, I hope, because Tom is a fantastic host. And
Yes, he is.
yes, he's very good. Probably better than me, but don't tell him that. Don't let
We
him know.
won't.
Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.